This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about the story that's going around about this nutcase woman that wants to sue a man for $10,000 for a bad date. So in case you have not heard it, I'm going to go ahead and read an article about it to you, and then we're going to come back and share my perspective because I got some really unique things to say about this. So let me go ahead. Let me share my screen with you, and here we go. All right. One date, and now I'm being sued. Woman sues man for $10,000 for standing her up on a date. A Michigan woman who sued a man for $10,000 for standing her up on a date got into a heated argument with a judge in a scene captured on video. Kashante, you know that's a problem. Her name Kashante, she a problem. Anyway, Kashante H. Short filed a lawsuit September the 10th of 2020 against her date who didn't show. According to the claim filed in Michigan's 67th District Court of Genesee County, the experience caused her emotional distress because the date fell on her late mother's birthday. During a just over 9-minute virtual court hearing via Zoom, Judge Herman Marable Jr. informed Short that she filed the lawsuit in the wrong court. The case, he told her, should have been filed in circuit court if you're going to file it at all. After that, the judge asked the defendant if he would be representing himself in the case. To be honest with you, sir, I thought this was just going to be thrown out, he told the judge. We had a date, one date, and nothing else after that. And now I'm being sued for $10,000. I don't think this is going to go any further, and I think it's a waste of your time. In the video, the judge said that if the man thought the case should be tossed, he needed to file a motion to dismiss it. If he responds and his response is a lie, then it's perjury, and my documents will prove it's a lie, Short then yelled. No. Do you understand what a perjury is? The judge responded, raising his voice. Please do not insult my intelligence. Do not do that, Short replied loudly, as if I don't understand what perjury means. And if you've seen the video, she don't know what perjury means. Anyway, at one point, the judge ripped his face shield off as the woman continued to shout, "Be quiet while I'm talking," the judge said at least twice. The video shows the defendant holding his hand over his face and later with his head down and palm over his forehead. Bottom line is, you said it's a criminal offense, so I will send it to circuit court, Short said. Are we done here? Are we done here? Are we done here? You know how hyena like to repeat. Eventually, Maribel muted the Zoom call and transferred the suit to circuit court. The judge dismissed the case and it was transferred to the 7th Circuit Court on Thursday, court records show. Short could not immediately be reached for comment. I guess not. Lawsuit after lawsuit. Now, this is where she gets into it being a nutcase. This isn't the first time Short filed lawsuits that have been dismissed by a judge. According to information from Michigan District Court and Circuit Court, she's filed at least a dozen suits in both court jurisdictions over the past 2 decades, one dating as far back as 2000. So you've been at this for about 22 years. In January 2020, she filed a $300 million lawsuit against the Flint Police Department in Michigan, alleging she was assaulted and harassed by several different police officers. A judge eventually dismissed the case. $300 million. Okay. She also filed a lawsuit against AT&T in October 2020 in Sheboygan County Circuit Court in Fond du Lac, I guess that's how you say that, Wisconsin. Online court records show she failed to appear in court for a hearing and the case was tossed. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing. So let's cover the obvious. The fact that this chick is a nutcase, okay? She's going through court with lawsuit after lawsuit because this is going to be her come up. Or so she believes. She believed that if she filed enough suits, against enough different people for enough different reasons and for these exorbitant amounts of money that somehow, some way, one of these courts is going to grant her her lawsuit, and she's going to be able to be having money or getting rich or whatever she's trying to do. And she'll be good to go, at least for a little while. This is the type of chick that'll weaponize anything. She'll weaponize her being a woman. She'll weaponize her being Black. She'll weaponize any part of her experience in life or whatever in order to have a monetary come up. And she doesn't care who has to suffer in order for her to get this come up. She doesn't mind wasting the court's time, which in turn wastes the taxpayers' dollars. She doesn't care about any of this. This is a completely selfish, ridiculous human being. And her latest victim is a Black man that had the unfortunate experience of trying to date a woman named Kashante. Okay, that should have been the first red flag. This woman name start with a Q. Okay, this woman's name start with a Q. It is that, and the Q is not followed by a U, as it's supposed to be in the English language. Okay, it's not. It was QA, capital S. This is a red flag. When he saw her print her, when he heard her say her name, he should have told her, text me your name. And once he saw the spelling of it, you understand me? That was supposed to be a done conversation, right? But he didn't know, but all jokes aside, he didn't know that she was going to be this level of a nutcase, right? That swear down, he didn't show up, whatever the case may be. It doesn't even matter what the details are. What matters is she's victimizing being a woman and all this kind of stuff to drag a Black man into court to try to sue him for $10,000 that this man may or may not even have. Who, I don't know his financial situation. Okay. He feels like it's a complete waste of time, which it is. Okay. He doesn't want to be there, which he shouldn't want to be. Now that we've covered the actual obvious craziness of all of this, I want you to take a deeper look at something. That little news number was on USA Today. I didn't play the clip that was included in the article because these little news outlets don't like you playing their little clips, right? But this was a news outlet, like, you know how you be on TV, WGN News and all that kind of stuff, and the news anchors give the news. This is where this was being said at. Now, why I'm saying this, why I'm drawing your attention to this, is that there are a lot of things that the news can be reporting on. Okay? They can be reporting on all this inflation. They can be reporting on the state of the supply chain and how these stores is running out of food and running out of supplies. They can be reporting on what this government gonna do to put these gas prices back into a normal range. They could be talking about how much Americans is in trouble with the housing market, the car market, the job market, and every other market running around here. They can talk about how old people is having to come out of retirement to get some type of little job to supplement the income because of inflation, and you know, they little SSI check and SSA check and all that kind of stuff, disability checks and stuff are not covering the expenses, that just basic living expenses. They not even covering the fact that there was an article that I found that talked about how Biden basically lied about, remember that story about the so-called 10-year-old from Ohio or whatever that had to come to Indiana to get an abortion right after Roe v. Wade was struck down? See, they don't want to tell you about how that they fact checked that into a lie. See, they're not going to tell you that that was a whole lie, right? That the left was using to try to make it, the Roe v. Wade situation, worse than what it actually was. Fear mongering and all of that type of stuff. They don't talk about that. They're not giving us, as the American people, the type of information that the news is needed to give us. And the news, quote unquote, news outlets, mainstream media has been like that for quite some time, surrounding itself and bogging itself down with this sensational entertainment news. And part of their entertainment news, apparently, is to help fuel the fire between Black men and Black women, right? To give us a news article, so-called news, which this shouldn't have been hitting no airwaves, okay, because this is stupid. But we talking about it because it did hit the airwaves. And it hit the airwaves enough that people were talking about it, right? Now, this is supposed to be something that was probably left on social media, spread it around, not something that a real news outlet with so-called real journalists talking about this. So much other stuff to talk about. Talk about how the war that between Russia and Ukraine is wrecking us. Talk about a whole bunch of stuff. But yet they want to dig out these little stories about how Black women are doing Black men, which is not none of their business. Now, people can say, well, Crimson Cure, you know, you got a whole channel where you go in on Black women all the time. So how are you talking bad about when mainstream media do it? Well, I'll tell you how. First of all, because I'm glad you asked that question. My content, while I am going hard on holding Black women accountable, contrary to popular belief, I don't hate Black women and I don't hate Black men. Holding Black women accountable has nothing to do with hating them. I'm holding Black women accountable because I'm in a position to do that as a Black woman. It's my community. I grew up in it. I grew up around them. I can see it. I can say it. And the ultimate goal of my content is to actually try to bring some peace and some healing between Black men and Black women by speaking to the demographic of women that are first going to listen to it, and number two, get something positive out of it, and maybe something in their life can change, and they can begin to understand whether or not they have been contributing negatively to the things that's going on around them. This type of news, quote unquote news, is thrown into the pot and conflated with content such as mine and used as like oh, well, all of this content is Black female hatred or Black or misogyny aimed at Black women. So all of it got to be thrown out because that all of it is divisive. All of it is meant to drive a wedge between Black men and Black women. My content does not fall under that category at all. Just because I'm bringing attention to the mindset doesn't mean that I'm trying to drive a wedge. I'm actually trying to bring it together to help the understanding between the two, particularly to help women understand where they are going wrong so that they can course correct. So that in a generation or two, we're not a forgotten species. That's what I'm trying to do. What mainstream media is trying to do is have us to go at it so bad that we set each other on fire, and, you know what I'm saying, and then end our own selves. That's what they're trying to do. That's the fundamental difference. See, I don't talk about stuff just to be mad at Black women, just for the sake of being mad. I'm upset at the mindset, but I don't hate Black women. And the people that come to my channel, it's not about hating Black women. It's about correcting. It's about putting us as a group back on track before it is absolutely too late. And one of the groups that took us off track is Black Lives Matter as an organization. So I want to draw everybody's attention to the petition, whose link is in the description box. And we're referring to their theft of more than $90 million from the Black community. So if you want to be part of holding them accountable, please go ahead and sign, share, and contribute to the petition. And it will be greatly appreciated. Also, sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.